What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I did a story a couple of days ago on one of my 7 o'clock premieres involving this young lady up here that you see. This young lady that you see up here is 8-year-old Genesis Mata. And she's from Bakersfield, California. May she rest in peace. And she was found in a La Quinta Inn bathtub, abandoned, bruised, battered, and dead. These two people that you see right here, 31-year-old Ray Mata Jr., the guy with the damn paper on his damn face, is the father. And his girlfriend, 27-year-old Graciela Bustamante. Both of these people are locked up on murder charges for Miss Young Genesis Mata. Now I want you to take a good look at this little girl. She seems happy. She's 8 years old and frail as can be. This little girl, ladies and gentlemen, was jumped and tortured for 2 days by these people. And we talked about the horrific injuries that she had. They burned her, pulled her fingernails out, all kind of stuff. More information came out as a local media station has got a hold of the court documents, and they tell the horrific tale of how this little girl suffered immensely. I don't know why people do this to their own children or let other people do this to their own children. You know, because the woman, Miss Bustamante or whatever, she is not the mother of Genesis Mata. But time and time again in these stories I do, you see an outside force coming in and getting full autonomy over the torture of a child while the parents are present. Both of these people played a vital role in the breaking and destructive assault on this child. Take a look at this, and this is tough to listen to. And I'll come back with commentary.
Our top story for tonight, gruesome details about the death of an 8-year-old girl. Genesis Aria Mata was found dead this weekend inside a bathtub at the La Quinta Inn in central Bakersfield.
The suspects, 31-year-old Ray Mata Jr. and 27-year-old Graciela Bustamante, were arrested. They pleaded not guilty yesterday. Eyewitness News reporter Maria Celeste Alfaro joins us now to tell us what those documents revealed and what happened to that young girl. Maria?
Michael, Rochelle, court documents showed us that Genesis died a day before the 911 call was made. She was found with severe injuries by her father and stepmother. I do want to warn you that some of the details in this story are disturbing and could be hard to hear. Newly released court documents are revealing that the death of 8-year-old Genesis Aria Mata was intentional and involved torture. Authorities say she was found dead on August 2nd inside a central Bakersfield motel room with substantial trauma to her body. Documents suggest those injuries were done with intention by her father, Ray Mata Jr., and her stepmother, Graciela Bustamante. In the offense report, one of the officers who entered the room described the state he found Genesis, saying she had extensive physical injuries. He found her skin splitting on the top of her head with massive blisters and extensive burns all over her body, including her face. On her back, severe scarring and more burns were found. According to the officer, it looked like she had been whipped multiple times, causing her flesh under the skin to be exposed. Her hair had been almost cut off completely. Finally, the officer finding her fingernails on the left hand being ripped from the nail bed. Another officer who walked into the room was heard saying, quote, "Oh my God," and appeared in shock by covering his mouth. In a police interview with Bustamante, she says that Genesis had been killed on the evening of August 1st, a day before 911 was called. Bustamante claims she witnessed Mata suffocating and punching Genesis in her stomach. After she wasn't breathing, she said she saw Mata perform CPR on Genesis, but neither called 911. She later died. It wasn't until the next day Bustamante called Mata's sister asking them to check on Genesis because she was unconscious. That's when his mother and sister called 911 and drove to the hotel. Bustamante reportedly said in the interview with police that Mata was an abusive person both physically and verbally. She also revealed that she and Mata would abuse Genesis by pouring boiling water, as well as placing her fingertips in a door frame and shutting the door on them, causing severe injuries to her hand and nails. In a separate interview, Mata claims that most of the abuse was actually done by Bustamante. The report shows that she told officers that Mata would hit the children with a charging cord. At one point, she admitted to watching them being abused, the document saying in part, she watched the children being whipped horribly with wires and hangers a lot. She stated it was not spanking and now called them beatings. She stated she watched Ray Mata Jr. beat the children until their backs bled a lot on many occasions. Before ending the interview, Mata says in part, he beat the children and is responsible for those injuries. However, he did not do any of the burning or fingernail stuff. The documents also state that Mata had an active case with Child Protective Services. The case was reported by school staff after his children was missing school and coming to school with visible bruises. Both Mata and Bustamante are expected back in court later this month. In studio, Maria Celeste Alfaro, Eyewitness News.
All right, guys, you've seen it. Nothing but hate. And as a father of a daughter that's 9 years old, this really digs deep with me. My daughter is frail and skinny. I know she couldn't take any physical blows from me. This little girl was jumped for 2 days with other children there that suffered the same fate, different times or another, getting whipped till blood comes out their back, getting beat like slaves. And you got a girlfriend there, and if you paid attention to the story, the girlfriend was doing most of the torturing, the pulling of the fingernails, the sticking her hands in the door and slamming it in the hinge part, the burning. This man let this girl, his girlfriend, no relation to these kids, she could up and leave tomorrow, do this to his own flesh and blood. And he ain't no different. Because he, with his violent temper and stuff, he was physically assaulted. They said he was strangling her and then punching her in the stomach, which subsequently cost her life. Because remember, guys, when we first did the story a couple of days ago, she was punched in the stomach until she passed out and didn't wake back up. How hateful can people be? This brings us to the next question. What do you do with such people that are uberly evil in attacking children, whether they're theirs or not? These people don't deserve another breath. They definitely don't deserve to see another sunset. Them and people like these cases I do with these children are at the mercy of people that don't like their life. So they put the hatred of themselves, the energy in that, into hurting their own kids. There's no resolve for that type of person. You know, for people to do inhumane shit, they have to take the human side out of somebody. How do you as a person take the human side out of a child to where you hurt it like it's an animal or less than? How do you get a fair shot, a fair day in court? How do you even get to go to court after that? After making confessions of what part you held in these grisly crimes, why are you still alive? This is the thing. It's big business. And I want you to hear me. It's big business in evil on this planet and letting it survive. This story will probably be told somewhere. They'll probably make a movie out of it. Somebody will get paid off of keeping these people alive, where you need to just erase them from fucking history like they did this little girl and those that are like her that came across the brutality of their own parents or somebody their parents adored and chose over their own children. You beat this girl so bad that the skin on the top of her head split, exposing her flesh. You beat her back until she bled like a fucking slave. She's 8 years old, small, frail. This is what you do. You have a woman sitting right there, pulling her fingernails out, slamming her hands in the door. Not just her, other kids in the house. There are a lot of people that suffer in silence, but when it's children and they go through stuff like this, that's a whole nother different kind of ball game. They need to take both of these motherfuckers and douse them in gas and let them run around right now. It's crazy how we do each other out here. I remember seeing one of my favorite war movies is the movie Fury. And I remember when, what's the actor's name? Shia LaBeouf. There was one part, some of you guys seen this part, when the one guy just got to the war zone and he ain't never seen combat. And Shia LaBeouf said to him, he said, wait till you see it. And he was like, see what? He said, see what another human being, the evil a man will do to another man. We're seeing it play out all the time in society. And nothing's really done about it. These criminals are changing. The aggression, the violence, the evil is progressing, whereas the justice system's punishments do not. So who the fuck is winning? Those in charge saying we're getting justice, or those who make deals after doing some of the most heinous shit in society and get to live the rest of their life in jail outside of scrutiny for what they've done or real punishment? These are heinous crimes, and they don't never get the just punishment to them. They only put them on a shelf or put them in permanent timeout. Life in jail is still life, where the victim loses theirs. We all know we're gonna die one day, but we don't know what our fate is, and we damn sure don't want to suffer the fate of others, namely children that are being abused and they're not being protected out here. And if you're not protecting them from the onslaught of these beasts, the least you can do is make it fair in the punishment that they inflict on somebody else that didn't deserve it. That's all I got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? May Genesis Mata rest in peace, and everybody else like that succumb to these children and people that have nothing deserving for the fate that happens to them. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, man. Doing these stories sometimes, man, it wears thin on me. For real. Like my head is starting to pound up here. But either way, man, I will see you in the next video. Take care. This is wrong, the way they handle these criminals.